you, Senator Tuberville. Senator Blumenthal.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you both for your service, and thanks for being here today. I listened to your early response, Secretary Driscoll, about the cost of the celebration that's planned. Just to be absolutely clear, I'm all in favor of celebrating the Army's 250th. I'm hoping maybe we'll celebrate the Navy's as well. Having some Marine Corps background. But I am struck by the cost, $25 to $40 million. As Senator King said, that's a pretty wide spread, and you're saying that it's due to the damage that may be caused? Is that the result of having tanks going through the streets of Washington and possibly tearing up the streets? And what other damage would be done?
To the cost, Senator, I think from our perspective, we're optimistic and we'll be able to report to you after the parade if
But why have tanks? Why this kind of parade?
We believe we have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to fill up our recruiting pipeline with young Americans.
Wouldn't your preference be to save money in light of the budget cuts we're seeing for training programs, freezes on hiring, shrinking staff levels, deferring maintenance, jeopardizing equipment maintenance? These problems are not theoretical. Wouldn't you agree that this money could be better spent? We don't have unlimited funds.
Very sincerely, Senator, I think this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to tell the story of the American Army.
There are a lot of once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. We all have them. But it doesn't mean that we spend money extravagantly. In fact, it would be an honor to the Army to, in fact, devote those resources to where they're really needed. And let me just cite to you the fact that the National Guard Bureau has yet to be reimbursed $38 million by the Department of Army for its essential work during the presidential inaugural mission. It isn't a minor oversight. This mission demanded the Guard's expertise in security and logistics and emergency response, and the National Guard needs that money. Why are you stiffing the National Guard and spending $25 to $40 million on a parade?
I'm not aware of the $38 million that you're talking about, Senator. We just went down yesterday. That was one of the things that we're talking about. That, you know, we were talking about some of the things that we need to put out there that we've been working through. So I can follow up with you on that.
Well, I hope that you will, because I have a lot of trouble justifying to veterans who've been fired from positions in the federal government that we're spending potentially $40 million on a parade when they have been fired because supposedly we have to eliminate waste, including veterans who were in the Department of Veterans Affairs. I don't know how you can justify that kind of expenditure. Let me ask you, drone warfare. Are you satisfied that we are doing enough to protect our bases in this country and elsewhere against the swarms of small, lightweight drones, such as Ukraine used in its Operation Spiderweb, and such as terrorists used in the Middle East against our base in Jordan? I've visited that area. I've heard personal descriptions from the troops there about what they fear in our inability to defend them against these types of small, lightweight drones. Are you satisfied we're doing enough both on the offense to develop our drone warfare and in terms of defending our cities as well as our bases?
Senator, we are not doing enough. The current status quo is not sufficient. We are rapidly trying to iterate and prototype and work with companies who actually are deploying their technologies into Ukraine. I think this is probably an instance where the United States can be a fast follower. If we can ingest and suck out a lot of the lessons learned in the technology from Ukraine.
I'm going to interrupt because my time is about to expire in I know the chairman will interrupt me, but I have visited the Ukraine drone factories. I've spent some time with their military talking about their drones, and I guarantee you, they are at the tip of the spear. They are way ahead of us. We have a lot to learn from them, and it's not just a luxury or convenience. We are at risk because of the technology that they have developed, and the Russians are soon going to take from them, because that's the pattern in this war. The Ukrainians take a step, the Russians try to keep up with them on drone warfare. And I think we not only have a lot to learn, but we have an obligation to learn it. And I would like to ask you, just because my time has expired, for a briefing on this area, which I think is revolutionizing modern warfare. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, I think that's a very important goal. I would note for members that we will have a closed hearing immediately, 15 minutes after the adjournment of this. Yeah. And I would suggest that the senator would want to ask those questions.
I would love to a chance to address you on that topic in specific.
So let's do that.
Even if, with respect, Mr. Chairman, I'm not sure I'll be able to attend the closed briefing. I'm going to try, but the briefing may not exhaust this topic. I would suggest a specific briefing on drone technology and warfare, if
all right. Well, there'll be no time limit and no limit on the subject matter. So we'll do the best we can, and I hope the senator will be able to attend. Senator Schmidt.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.